G'day, it's John Green for Green Ideas. I'm in the greenhouse of John Green and I wanted to show you what's going on, and I also wanted to talk about a little issue. Hope you can see me alright. I'd received a substantial amount of good advice from a fellow gardener, but a particular gardener doesn't have a greenhouse. He has a what am I looking at here? Okay, yeah, he just has an outdoor garden, and not just has, he has an outdoor garden, and he was giving me some tips and advice on the greenhouse. And I am inclined to say it's all good advice, but in my case, my particular case, I'm not going to follow that advice this year, just for my own selfish reasons. Alright, so I'll tell you what the advice was. First of all, don't make garden beds. Don't make raised beds. It's easier to just dump soil in a row, to hoe it up into a pile, add amendments to the soil, and put mulch and all of that stuff onto these long piles. And when you do that, you can just clean up everything with a hoe. You don't have to get in all these weird little corners and nooks and crannies. When you have a raised bed, that's the case. You've got to get right in there and get weeds and things. When you have long rows of just raised soil with different things planted in them, you can just use a hoe in between. And the other thing is you probably get an extra row of gardening when you just use the dirt piles. And the piles of soil, although I think they are a good idea, especially when you're monocropping, maybe doing different rows of different types of salad, I could see that really coming into effect and making a lot of sense. You could put 2 rows in here, one against the wall and sort of one against the pole, and walk in between and just hoe in between the rows. I'm not saying that's bad advice. It's probably some very sound advice for a professional or commercial grower. Look at the stuff I'm pulling up. It's a top of an old bottle. Here's a piece of an old mug. We're really talking about archaeology. There's glass in the original soil. So I have to order soil for I think it's 140 euros from Quick Crop. They seem to be the best, and at least the closest people. They have a place here in Ballymote in Sligo, although I think they are a Dublin-based company. So if you buy from Dublin, I think it's 120 and 140 outside of Dublin, something like that, I don't know. But the other thing was I didn't put doors on yet. This friend said you don't even have to put the doors on until maybe winter, because the biggest problem is actually the humidity, not the cold. You can always put on a horticultural blanket over your little seedlings and stuff over winter, or if it gets freezing at night time into spring. Alright, so I started digging and so I was fully in support of the idea. It's raining, by the way. I was fully in support of the idea that we would just plant straight on the ground. Get soil in, make rows of soil, plant straight on the ground. I haven't actually been in here while it's raining before properly, so it's interesting to hear it. Anyway, I started digging and then I realized, wow, that amount of work sucks. And also, I don't really see how the garden's any cleaner later because I still have to do all this digging. Better, I make half of the greenhouse with garden beds and half straight in the soil. Yep. So half of the greenhouse will be in the ground with piles of soil in rows, and the other half of the greenhouse will be in flat beds, in raised beds, sorry. And the raised beds are designed so that you can put whatever soil you want in there, which will be the good quality stuff, and you can control what you're doing. I like the idea of the footpaths, just having wood chip or something down, and I also like the idea of there being walkways that are properly designated with wooden borders. I was advised against it, but again, I want it to look good too. When I come in here, I want it to be a beautiful place. A couple of things that I saw that I loved online is people who have some grapes growing inside the greenhouse. We can do that. We can put grapes growing in here, no problem. We will put grapes growing in here. It'll be lovely. But again, you know, I want the greenhouse to be pretty so that I enjoy coming out here. I want it to look good as well. You know, I don't want it to just be a workhorse where we like cut salads every day and, you know, go back in the kitchen and get to work eating or cooking. I want to enjoy my time out here, and I also enjoy building. You probably know that if you've been watching any of these videos. I'm John Green, and this is Green Ideas. So I won't bother putting doors on until winter, but I will put mesh doors on just to stop every bug and fly and everything coming in all the time. I am also going to put mesh on that at the end, so that we don't have every bug and fly coming in, and we can control the environment, but the airflow will still be very, very simple and easy. Today I'm going to start actually building these raised beds. I've got 3 pieces of lumber they can go high, but as my wife says, just use 1 piece today. And we don't really have much soil, so we can't fill 3 beds. It's going to cost hundreds and hundreds. I'm only planning to buy 1 bag of very good gardening soil, and therefore we're going to have to sort of dig a little and then pour the good gardening soil in and sort of mix it up a bit with a shovel, and then start using mulch. We're coming a bit late in the season. I mean, it is spring, you can hear birds singing and everything. These are April showers. But I think putting at least the beginnings of a raised bed so I can delineate walkways will give me a sense of movement and accomplishment. Whereas if I leave everything like this and just sort of dig around and put plants in the ground, I don't think it's going to make me feel very warm inside. I've been thinking about it. I will put a small shrine in here to the goddess, and I guess it's the right thing to do. The goddess nature, you know, to bless this place as a kind of temple of nature, such as the Beeltana cottage, however they say it, Beeltana. Anyway, she's in Ireland, she's in Sligo too, I heard. So we have the same weather, and this greenhouse and her greenhouse are sister greenhouses, I like to imagine, when there'll be a little shrine in here with some candles and things going. But like I said, yeah, even she has designated areas for different things. There's even a tree in there, I think it's apricot or something. Apricot? Peach? Anyway, she's got a nectarine of some kind, something growing down the end. She's got grapes in there. I want to have grapes in here. I want grapes growing up these poles. I want grapes and grape vines hanging from these supports. That would make me very happy. Having grapes hanging down to be plucked. Something to really look forward to. Alright, anyway. That's the talking portion. I'm going to set up the camera and then I'm going to start building this, or at least delineating or separating the parts that are going to be garden and walkway, just for my own peace of mind, because this kind of thing bothers me. I know it shouldn't, it's all dirt, but I want a designated walkway and a designated garden area so that I know where to throw all of my sawdust and things like that. Alright, thanks for tuning in. It's just I'm telling you what's going on at the moment, and we're not at that stage yet where we can actually put anything in the ground, but I start building the beds. So tune in next week. I think I'm putting a video on every week now. Yep, trying to do it that way, trying to raise some sponsorship. Thanks to everyone who has supported so far, and stay tuned for the progress of this little greenhouse. Wow, let's see how little it is. Thanks for tuning in.